And in the form elements, so we have one more important option. That is, in the form elements, we have meter and progress like elements. So how to use meter and progress elements? Let's see. Actually, so meter, generally meter is used. So meter is used to display a grade meter. So with various effects. Grade meter is nothing but it is used to define a range of values. It is used to define a range of values. Configure and define a range of values. So technically, it is used for configuring range of values. Actually, show a range of values, not define, show a range of values. So usually it is mostly used in displaying graphs, and it is also used in ratings, etc. Generally, graphs, ratings, and all these are a meter control is used. Actually, so what are the attributes for meter control? How it handles, how it defines, right, the meter control. Let's check that. So what is the option and how do we define the meter control? Right. So let's check how we can handle and deal with the meter control. One simple example for this is, so we have an example. So let's check that. So in our full stack, right. So let's create a simple page. So meter.html and a field set. Let's add a field set. Doc type HTML head and a title. So we have a meter, okay, in the body section, and we are defining a field set, legend as meter. Just I'm defining meter demo, and here we are using a meter control. By default, you can see the meter control is displayed in this way. The meter control is displayed in this way. It is displayed in this way. So you can see a bar meter will come. The meter control is displayed in this way. Now generally, how we can keep with different effects actually. Meter can have some attributes. So meter attributes. We have attributes like ID, name, class. These are common. We have attributes like configuring min and max and value. So we have a minimum, maximum, and value. So we have also low and high. These are the attributes for meter. So meter can show the values between range. Actually, what we can do is we can give min is equal to 100, 1. Max is equal to 100. You can give anything. You can give even fractions also, 0.1. So here 1.0, you can give any. So you can start with any, end with any, range is defined. So it is 1 and 100 suppose. And value, so value I defined as suppose as 100. So the value 100 will give you the meter with a green color like this. It is a meter with the green color. So that means actually this is, I will keep a div in that meter. This is 100%. That is actually 100%. Suppose I defined another div and we have meter. And in that we have min is equal to 1 and max is equal to 100 and value is equal to suppose 40. So that means here I defined as suppose 40%, and you can see it will be displayed in this way. Actually, we increase and decrease the values by using JavaScript and jQuery. We can increase and decrease the values by using JavaScript and jQuery. Technically, through JavaScript and jQuery, we can dynamically do that. Dynamically means according to user interactions, these bars will be increasing, decreasing, and showing us dynamically. Here we are statically providing a value into it. Meter also have options like minimum, maximum, low and high. So we have meter have min is equal to 1. So max is equal to 100 and value is equal to, so value is equal to, so 100. So that is normal. It is showing normal. Now what we can do is we can define two values, low and high. How the low and high values must be? Actually, when you define low and high, the value should be in this way. Low, it must be, it must be, so it must be. So low is a reference actually. It must be, low value must be above, so above minimum, and below high. So that means it must be above minimum. Above minimum means more than 1 and below high. How much high value you give that? That means high value is 680. Then low value can be 60 or 40 or 30 or 20 or 10 or 11 or 12, anything. Above minimum and below high. That is the low value. And high value, actually, high value. So it must be below maximum, and above low. That is the condition actually. So that means high value must be below maximum. Below maximum means below 100. That is the maximum value. And above low, it should be above low. That means it cannot be 40. High cannot be 40. That's wrong. Because already low is 60. It should be above 60, 70 or 80 or 90, like that. Now, one more important is, if there is less gap between low and high. Between low and high, it is very less gap. We have very less gap between low and high. If there is a less gap between low and high, then what is the point is, if there is less gap between low and high, then usually what happens is, so the color ranges will change. So that means you see there is less gap between low and high. you can see it gets a red color. That means suppose I said some poor and it says that poor. So red color will come. Now that is how you define the range of value. So that means it is poor. It is configured as poor. Okay. Now we are defining. We are defining. So the value range, we are configuring the value range. Suppose if we have a meter, so meter minimum is equal to 1 and maximum is equal to 100 and low is equal to 40 and high is equal to 80. That means there is more gap between low and high. If there is more gap between low and high, we say some average. That means you can see that. So it will display average. And here low and high values, and we need to display that using value also. Value is 100. And you can see that it will be in yellow color. So green, yellow color. Suppose if low and high are 0, then it will be green color. Already we saw first one. Suppose we have a meter. So minimum is 1, maximum is 100. And we have the option like low. So low is equal to, suppose the low value is 0 and high value also 0 and value is 100, then it is going to display that. So that means it's a green color. That's already we defined that. We are defining it this way. Already in one example, we saw how we can put stars. If you want to show in stars, that already I showed you. We have Font Awesome now. By using Font Awesome, we can use stars. So by using the Font Awesome, we can display the stars and we can configure the stars. So that you can do. So we can configure and deal with that. Right? So by using that option, we can manage it. Initially, so this is the basic approach how we deal with it. The basic approach, how do we deal? So meter is used for displaying grade meters. So this is height, width you can adjust for meter by using styles actually. So you define style. So I defined meter. For meter, suppose width is 100%. Width 100%, then it will keep the meters 100%. And height, so I defined as some 20 pixel. Then height will be 20 pixel. So we can increase the height 40 pixel. The height will be increased for that. We can change the height, width of those elements and display them, right? So we are configuring this as suppose 80%. So width, then it will get the values and display. So the same we have a body and the font size as the 40 pixel, same as that meter control, then it will display these values. So the height and width we can configure for the meters. Depending on our requirement, we can do that. So that is generally, so managing the options, how we can deal with this. So this is the basic approach of working with meter. How do we deal with the meter and work with the meter element? So usually, so meter is used for displaying such grade meters. So a simple example. So that means here one simple note is if more range difference between low and high, then it will be in yellow, right? We can add different other colors with CSS actually. So by default, it has some colors. And if less range difference between low and high, then it will be in red color. It will be in red color. That's how it can manage the options. So this is a simple example how to define a simple example how we can configure and define, right? What I told you, where we can use grade meter. Again, you came to beginning of the class. Have you seen? So I given a sentence here. Have you seen it? Were you listening to the session? Without telling how it is used, we don't go into the topic. I think you are sure about it. Okay. You have still any doubt where to use it? Amol. Right. So this is the basic how we configure and define the grade meters. Now, generally, I told you that we can use Font Awesome for showing the stars and all. We can display that ratings and all, we can configure that. Another important is we have a progress. So progress is nothing but actually progress element. It is used to show the status of any status and progress of any task performed in page. It is used to show the status and progress of any task performed in page. Usually, status of any task performed in page. So how you can define the status of any task performed in page? Like it is used to show the time taken or time remaining to complete any task in the UI. Like you can say that, like downloading, you are downloading something, you are uploading something, you are copying something, you are installing something, etc. All these are managed by using this. All these are managed. So it is used to show the status and the progress of any task performed in the page. So time taken or time remaining to complete any task, So usually that is the basic approach actually. So how it can manage, how it can handle. That means when you are downloading, when you are uploading, when you are copying. So the status is shown in the page. So that is actually the progress. So downloading, copying, installing, such status are displayed. It is mostly used with combination of AJAX. It is mostly used with combination of AJAX interactions. It is mostly used with combination of AJAX. So what is AJAX? You will learn in JavaScript jQuery. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Actually, AJAX is nothing but without loading the complete page. Only a specific portion of page will be loaded. It will be processed. That is what actually Ajax. You will learn about that in JavaScript and jQuery, how we deal with the Ajax interactions and work with them. Initially, the point is how you can manage, how we can manage the combination of Ajax, and deal with Ajax, right? How to handle this. Actually, that in JavaScript you will see here progress is used with it to show the status of any task. For example, it is designed by using progress. Progress is the element used for displaying the progress. Progress is the element used for displaying the progress. And attributes actually for progress we have same ID, name, class. These are common for everyone. So we have same options like min, we have max, and we have value. These are the basic things for the progress. Actually, how the progress looks like. So what is the progress element looks like? Let's see. Suppose here I am designing. So progress, legend, progress. And here I will keep a div, and in that we have progress. This progress element will have min is equal to 1, max is equal to 100. And here we are writing, so min 1 and max 100, and we are configuring the progress as suppose preparing for download. So this is the progress. You see progress will display in this way. It is having an animation. It is showing that preparing for download. Now, actually this animation is controlled dynamically according to the time. 5% completed, 4% completed. Suppose you see here, so div, so we give progress. It is just like meter but have animation, which you can define dynamically in JavaScript. It continuously growing and increasing and showing you. So minimum is equal to 1, maximum is equal to 100, and value is equal to 50. And here I say 50% downloaded, and it will show the meter like this. That means 50% completed. Suppose we are configuring, it doesn't have any colors, so it has only one stable option. So, and we have min is equal to 1, max is equal to 100, and value is equal to suppose 80. And I simply said that 80% downloaded. And it will show that 80% download. So that is how we display. Actually, we are just keeping static value with HTML. But generally what happens is this comes dynamically. We need to deal with that dynamically, right? So that means with the JavaScript and jQuery, we write the logic which will handle the interaction and manage all the interaction for us. So that is generally configuring and defining the option. Right. So this is the basic approach of how it is defined for configuration of status of any task performed. So HTML just presents them. CSS, again, we can give more interactions. We can give more effects. With CSS, we can go more effects to it. But primary aim is to show the status of any task. That is what actually the progress option is. And The difference between meter and progress so is used with some animation. So it have an animation, incrementing animation, decrementing animation, which JavaScript makes that dynamic and handles it dynamically. So of course, these days people don't use just progress, they use spinners also, because these days different types of options are available, not only just progress. Suppose you have font awesome, so like we have font awesome, we can use spinners and all. uh, what I told you just now, Mr. Again, who is this Parang, I told you that the steps, values, increment, decrement is done by using JavaScript and jQuery. Have you listened to that concept? Have you listened to that? Have you listened to that point? Then again, same question. Is that the question again same for you? You are asking the same question, how to increase or decrease? Uh, yes, tell me, what is your doubt?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir. I want to ask you about as in analog progress or meter, as we see there is some meters are present 10, 20, 30, 50 likes that we can't give any values.
That is
On
what
hover, it will show some
that
values.
is what we are talking about from the beginning of the class. What we are talking about? They are controlled dynamically with JavaScript and jQuery. You
Okay, sir.
listen. You listen to that concept.
Yes, sir.
Then you are asking same question again.
No, sir. I thought it needs some HTML for just showing the numbers.
Are we already showing the numbers in HTML?
Yes.
Understood? We are already showing here, na?
Yes, sir.
Right? That
Okay,
is
sir.
what we are discussing. Like JavaScript, jQuery is used for that. Okay, right, right. So that is what all the day I am explaining from the beginning. We use JavaScript, jQuery to control them dynamically, showing their values dynamically, managing them dynamically. Right? That is the point we are discussing. Right? Right. That is what I said. That right. When a value will be displayed by using JavaScript only, na, how you can get the value and display the value on screen, right? We can get the value, display the value only through coding. Na? Without coding, we cannot do that, right? Whatever value present in text box, checkbox, radios, for everything we need JavaScript, jQuery to get the value and show the value. Understood? You show on scale or you show anywhere on the page. To get the values and display those values, we have to use JavaScript and jQuery. Understood? Here we are configuring those values, right? So changing the values, displaying the values, everything requires JavaScript, jQuery only. That means you cannot show here how much value it is. Already the value is 80. How to get the value? You have to write a program, right? Through the program, you have to collect this value and display that value. You have a text box, check box, radios. How to get their values? We have to get the values by using JavaScript and jQuery, right? Right. So that is the basic approach. any value to get or set dynamically and display or use, it requires JavaScript and jQuery. So HTML can only present it, right? There is no option for getting the value through HTML and displaying the value. So we have to do it through programming. That is what actually these options are, right? This is the basic how we can design and configure the form elements. And it is the progress element and the progress element. So this 80% completed, 20% completed, that value we pick up according to user interactions, and that value we update here, that value we display here. For that we need programs, right? That is the basic approach how to deal with that. Here we are only displaying the bar with some animation and whatever attributes and effects it is having. We are managing it. So now let's see how we can deal with the other options, how we can handle with the other options. So configuring and defining the other options and dealing with other options. So technically, so these are all the form elements, form related options and elements. So how to design the form? So with this we can create forms and work with the forms. So in our dynamic interactions. So how to use these forms, login, registrations, and all this, we can make it functional with the knowledge of server side and client side scripting. So this is only presentation, right? And these are all the elements in the forms that we discussed. So we have so form, we have input, select, option group, text area, meter. So we learned a data list. So we have progress. All these are the form elements. How to deal and work with the form elements. This is designing of form. Now we can make these forms more effective, interactive with the CSS. Because while designing the forms, so many questions will come, like I want horizontal form, I want vertical form. All these we can do with CSS. When you learn CSS, you will see that presentation of the forms in different way. Here designing of the form is done. So with HTML, we can design the form, right? Next, after understanding the designing of forms, now another important concept we need to know here in HTML is about the multimedia options in HTML. So HTML multimedia. Multimedia is nothing but generally, so dealing with HTML multimedia. Now one more person came. What is your doubt? What is your doubt, Mr. Basha? What is your doubt? Basha, what is your doubt? Why you are asking input type range? Already we learnt about it, na? We need to range. We haven't learnt about it. Input type range already I given you in input type itself, na? Then what is your doubt? You missed it, don't miss it, okay? Because already we discussed that in input types. Don't think that we haven't learnt about it. Okay, we learnt everything related to forms. If you missed it, once verify. In the classroom notes we upload now every day. You verify the notes, what you learned today. If you missed a topic, at least you can verify the notes. Then you will at least have a general knowledge about what today happened in the class. Right. Prominently, okay, we will see that, we will check once, because you need to follow the notes properly. You have to see it. Okay, we will verify once, we will check all the emails you have, because everyday notes is uploaded to you na. It is alerts are coming to you na, everyday notes to everyone. If any thing is missed, you can ask there, right? If you missed, then you can verify there. Once you missed the class, you can verify there once. Okay. Fine. The next important, what is multimedia and how to deal with this multimedia here? Actually, the multimedia is nothing but, so HTML provides elements for presenting animations and effects. So with audio and video. So animations, effects, and with audio and video. HTML provides presenting animations. So actually multimedia is nothing but, multimedia is animations, audio and video. This all comes under the category of multimedia actually. So you can create animations and embed animations by using Flash. So Flash, by using Flash software, right? Actually Flash software is used for creating and embedding animations. We can create animations for website. So you say for website, and embed animations using a software called Flash. So Flash is a very big multimedia software. We can create animations by using that software. Generally, specialist multimedia people will be there. They learn that software. They design animations for us, just like you see websites, Flash animations. You have games, Flash games. You have rhymes. You see, kids' websites will be there. So 2D, 3D cartoons will be there. Such animations are kept in website. We will not design those animations. We will use those animations designed for us. That is done by specialist people who are specialized in this Flash software. I will just give you one overview of that software later. So just an idea. So that simple effects we can create and put in our websites. But that is not our job. That is done by animation specialists, right? We have separate multimedia people for that. So they will create those animations and give to us. We have to embed. And you can also embed audio and video clips. So video clips into page. So that is all comes under the category of multimedia, means animations, effects. How do we handle them? In that one, general option is in the multimedia options. We have MarQ. MarQ is for one animation. Actually, MarQ is used for, it is used for displaying type, sliding and scrolling content on page. It is used for displaying, sliding and scrolling content on page. That means you can create sliding and scrolling contents on page. So it can be text or picture, any content can scroll or slide. So the MarQ element is a container with the contents to scroll or slide. Contents to scroll or slide. That means you define, so a simple text here. Suppose we define this text here. So marq.html, and just we have a doc type HTML head and title, and marq, yeah. And in the body section, we have just a div. And here we defined marq. In the marq, we are defining, suppose a flash like this, and 70% off on all products, something like this. So suppose some say winter sale, and like this. And you can see that the MarQ will keep this content. MarQ will keep that content scrolling. You can see that content will be scrolling. You can keep so many attributes are there. MarQ has a lot of attributes. We can change the effects for that. Usually it can have images also. You can keep images. So img src. So in images, so we have some shoot.jpg. So width is 50 and height is 50. So, and we have 2-3 images there. So one is shirt.jpg. So, or I defined some speaker.jpg. So this is in direct folder, right? Images folder. Okay. In the images folder, yeah, we have shirt.jpg like this. You can see that these images also will be scrolling along with the content. You can keep the images left, you can keep the images right, in the middle, anywhere you want. So that keeps the content. So that keeps the content in this way. That is keeping the content in this way. That is managing the content in this way. You can see that. So this is MarQ. MarQ has a lot of attributes. Several attributes are there for the MarQ. What are the various attributes for MarQ? How do we deal with these attributes in the MarQ? Let's see the basic attributes for MarQ, how we can work with them. So the options for MarQ and how do we deal with them. So a lot of attributes will be there. MarQ attributes are so many. The attributes, let's give a tabular form for the attributes. So the MarQ attributes, so attribute and description, right? So what are the attributes? So the MarQ attributes, we have a first attribute, scroll amount. Scroll amount is nothing but scroll amount is used for changing the speed for MarQ. It sets MarQ speed from 1 to 100. It sets the MarQ speed for from 1 to 100. Scroll amount is used for that. You can see for MarQ, we are writing scroll amount is equal to some 20. Then you can see the marquee is scrolling fast. It is scrolling fast. I am keeping here 10. Then it will be little better. So we can change the scrolling speed of the marquee. That is scroll amount. We can do that. Then direction, we can keep a direction. Direction, you can keep it sets scrolling direction. Scrolling direction, you can keep it as left, right, top, and bottom. It can scroll direction. Suppose I said direction. Direction is equal to, so right, it will scroll right side. It will scroll right side. It can scroll up and down. But to scroll up and down, its height should be correctly defined. So you see up, it can scroll up. It can scroll up. For that, we can have to adjust the height of the marquee. Then it will show content scrolling up properly because height is very less now. So we can keep right, we can keep left, we can change the direction, left, right. By default, it is left. You can change the scrolling direction and we can configure the scrolling direction, right? Scrolling direction can be defined in this way, right? Right. So that is how we have to deal with this, how we can manage with this. Scrolling direction can be defined in that. Now the point is here, how we can deal with another option. We have behavior. Behavior, we can keep it, it changes from scrolling to sliding. It changes from scrolling to sliding. So behavior will change from scrolling to sliding. We can change the behavior from scrolling to sliding. That is the behavior for that. So we can configure the behavior. So that is scrolling to sliding. So we can define that. Generally, the behavior, how it can manage, how it can handle the behavior. So let's see. That means scrolling to sliding behavior. Actually, you see, you keep, you have to remove the direction now. And we say behavior. Behavior is equal to alternate. Alternate is the behavior. And alternate behavior, you see it is from scrolling to sliding. Alternate behavior is scrolling to sliding. So we need to keep the behavior scrolling to sliding. That is the option. So we can define the behavior as alternate. Only one option is there for behavior, alternate. That means, so scrolling to sliding by using the value alternate. We have to use the value alternate. So that is the behavior option. So that means previously, suppose I defined the syntax like this. This is the syntax. So example will be in this way. We need to keep the marquee in this way and close your marquee and content. And we are defining the marquee content in this way. All right. Now, how do we deal with this? How we can deal with this? So how we can manage with this? You can see that generally, depending on the situation, you can dynamically stop and pause and resume also. That JavaScript requires. That means on mouse over, you can pause it. Again on mouse out, you can resume it. That requires little bit of JavaScript actually. That you will see later in JavaScript. Interactions that is managed. Here, that is alternate behavior. You can change this. One more option. If you remove that behavior, by default, it will be scrolling. It will be scrolling. You can use another attribute, that is loop. Loop specifies the number of times to display. the number of times to display. That means how many number of times it should display. That means after page load, suppose I say loop is equal to 3, then you can see that it is coming. This is the first time it is scrolling, and after the first time, then it comes for the second time scrolling, and after the second time, then it goes into the third time, and after the third time, then it will not display again. That means after the third time, so it is disappeared. But remember that place is empty. That place is kept empty. And third time, it will not come again. So after loading the page every time, it will display 3 times and it will stop. That is what actually loop is. How many number of times it should loop. You can configure that. So that is you can define by using loop the number of times to display. Again, to resume, you have to use some coding or refresh the page. Again, it will resume, but only 3 times it will display because you've given the count as 3. You can set width and height. No need to explain. This is width and height for marquee area. And width and height are common. So we can adjust the width and height for the marquee area. And we can set a BG color. BG color is nothing but it sets background color for marquee. It sets background color for marquee. So we need to set a background color for the marquee, right? How do we define the background color for marquee? So just we can add a BG color. BG color is some yellow. So it sets a background color for the marquee area. We can adjust the width and height for it. So that means width is equal to some 300. We can adjust the width for the marquee. Through CSS, you can place anywhere, center on the screen and display anything on the screen. These are the general options, and you can keep anything for that. So that means you can keep images, you can keep paragraph, you can keep headings, you can keep any content inside that. These are all the attributes for displaying the marquee. The scroll amount, the direction, the behavior, the looping, so the height and width, and the background colors. This is for slow scrolling and sliding. And the effects like on mouse over, it should stop. On mouse out, it should resume. All such things we need to manage. That we will see. So with the JavaScript, how we can manage that. Right? This is in the multimedia, how we can configure, right? You can do everything. That's what I said. With the JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, you can do everything you want. Okay. That means when to start, when to stop, mouse over, start and stop. Everything you can give, right? That's what the coding requires. So we need to write that by using it, right? Now, once it is done, once it is configured and defined, now this is general syntax and example actually already we know. Now we will see how to add audio and video effects. That means how we can add the multimedia effects. That means how to add audio, video, and flash-like animations in the website. For that, we have special elements designed by HTML, like audio and video options. So that means we can create multimedia. For that, we need to, two options are there. You can create small animations. To create simple and small animations, you need softwares like Flash. I am not teaching you any complete animation software, but one session, 2 sessions, I will give you overview on a simple Flash like software. You can see that, and you can create some advertisements by yourself for website. You can embed them into the page and use them. So I will show you how to create Flash animations, which you can try. But that is actually done by specialists in graphics. They will do it and design it and give to us. We will just embed it and use it. For that, you have to download one software. You download Macromedia, Macromedia Flash. See, several versions of Flash is there. You download Macromedia Flash 8 version. That is enough, because we are not professional multimedia people. We are just learning how to create a simple animation and embed. If you download latest version of Flash, so it is very heavy on your computers, it will slow down because it's a very big multimedia tool, and that is waste of space and waste of time also. Why? Because you don't need that until or unless you are learning multimedia separately. So you download this, it is very lightweight, simple, and once you download, I will give you the key about it. You can apply that key because it is a licensed right? And this is the key. You have to apply this key. You can apply this key so that, yeah, you can apply this key. Download. Remember, download only Flash 8. Now, don't ask from where to download, right? So, you can Google and you can search for Macromedia Flash 8 download. You can go there, right? And you download that for your computer. So you download that Macromedia Flash, and after downloading, installing, it will ask you the key. You can set this key. This is the key. So once you have this, you see in the computer we have Flash. This is the Flash software. This is the Macromedia Flash software. And this software is specialized in designing animations and all. Flash is used in so many locations. You can see, suppose, I will show you, suppose Google, you see online. So here we have online games, Flash games. You see online Flash games. Suppose several websites are, this is one website. You can see this is games website. And to design such websites, you need complete knowledge of Flash actually. That means this is designing. Our UI people, full stack people will do it. Designing we will do it. But these games we cannot design. Games are not designed by us. That is designed by the people. You see, I click on that, a Flash game will load. This is done by multimedia people. So they design this game. So we have to just put that game in the page. And this game is designed by using Flash software. You see, it is loading the game and you can play the game. So these kind of things are designed very complex. So too complicated also. So for that, people should have complete knowledge of multimedia. Right? They have to learn that software. Not only Flash, several other 2D, 3D animation softwares will be there. They have to learn. But Flash is enough for creating such 2D cartoons, 3D, and games like things for internet. So it is used everywhere. Not only that, you see some slideshows, presentations will come. Slideshows and presentation. You can see this is the game. Flash game it is. It is the Flash game. So you can see such things so many, right? The Flash games you can see so many. Not only that, you see presentations. Suppose you have seen websites like SlideShare. I hope you know slideshare.com. When you open this SlideShare website, you will see PowerPoint presentations. That means it is a website with a lot of PowerPoint presentations. So you click on any presentation. Suppose I am searching for presentation, HTML. HTML related some presentations will come. You click on the presentation. Then you can see that presentation will open here. You can view the slideshow of that presentation directly here. These all are the things which are designed in Flash. Such things are created in Flash. So like these animations, you can slide to any specific location. These are all designed by using Flash. And that is not done by the UI people directly. That is done by specialist of Flash. They give us that file. We will upload and keep it in our page. But I will show you one overview how to create simple advertisements by using Flash. So we will see 1-2 sessions enough to understand how it is created actually. Then we can implement in our websites. So for that, you need this software to install and keep ready. So then we will do this in our next session, right? Tomorrow, we will continue with this. So in tomorrow's session, we will start this software, Flash. We will learn about a software called Flash. I will give you a simple 1-2 sessions only overview of Flash. With that, you will have a complete knowledge on that. Means how to integrate into websites, and you can work with them. You can create simple effects by using it, right? Then tomorrow we'll continue with this. Okay. Right. Yes, Nikhil, what is your doubt?
सर कल जो मैंने आपको बताया था ना, हेलो,
यस, क्या बताया था?
वो सर मतलब आ नहीं रहा है, एग्जीक्यूटिंग नहीं हो रहा है। मैंने उसे फिर से रीचेक किया, बट मुझे कुछ के साथ शो ही नहीं हो रहा है। नोट से भी मिला के देखा तो।
क्या शेयर करो स्क्रीन को।
ये सर
लोड हो रहा है।
दिख रहा है सर?
नो। नहीं। हाँ, क्या है प्रॉब्लम, क्या है यहाँ?
सारे तो मैंने डाल दिए, बस वहाँ पे जो एडिट करते हैं ना नेम वगैरह, वो जाता ही नहीं है। सिर्फ नेम पासवर्ड वगैरह शो हो रहा है और उसके आगे कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा।
क्या डिजाइन किया दिखाओ।
ये नेम डेट ऑफ बर्थ
डिजाइन दिखाओ, कोडिंग पूरा स्क्रीन शेयर करो, ओनली ब्राउजर नहीं। मालूम है कैसे शेयर करना पूरा स्क्रीन को? Edge and Chromium are enough, okay? You can use Edge, Chromium, these are enough. Fine. Okay, where is this guy? This is gone, right? Fine. Let's meet tomorrow then, right? Yeah.